Hi everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Room Studios, and today is our last Wednesday stick pull for your January journal. How you coming along? Are you making a journal, or are you just making elements to have on hand? Both are perfectly fine. I believe it was Denise who asked if I had done the video for the tassel from week 2 and she just missed it. No, Denise, I'd not done it. But I've done it, most of it now. I put the tassel together, but I still want to go back and add some of the beading and the charms on this thinner, excuse me, on this thinner stuff. This isn't a fiber. It's almost like the paper twist paper from the 70s. Excuse me. Get a slug of coffee down there. Can't hurt, right? But I want to give you a tip about your tassels. Your tassels are more than a decorative item. And let me pull this up and lay it over here. Your tassel is more than a decorative item on the outside of your journal. Your tassel should complement what is on the inside of your journal. So if you're using laces and you're using trims inside the journal, try to make sure that when you have those that you have enough to incorporate into your tassel. So you're bringing the outside in. It's kind of like when you're scrapbooking that you choose colors for your scrapbook layout that will help pull colors out of your photos. And this is the same thing. Now, if you're not using fibers on the inside of the journal, that's perfectly fine. But you still want to work with the same color scheme. And what you have on the inside should be at least part of the incorporation into your tassel on the outside. That's what makes your journal a cohesive project, is meshing those two things together. The same if you add laces and trims on your borders. Don't just slap something on the edge of a page because you like that soft texture. You want something on the edge of your page that is going to work with your theme, with your colors, and then incorporate those into your tassel as well. So, I haven't done the elements yet that uses this ribbon, but I'm planning to. But you've seen me use this one on the snowman tag. I'm going to incorporate some smaller laces. This was the only thin white lace I had, but I'm going to Hobby Lobby tomorrow, so there will be thin lace in my future. Of course, I didn't think about, maybe there won't be, because I have tons of this burlap and white lace from Dollar Tree. And remember, you can take this apart simply by pulling out your stitching on the back and pulling this up, and then you have either a wide lace, or you can cut it down through the center and have a narrower lace. Let me just pull a piece of this out really quick. I am finishing this journal, and I will be doing a flip through of this journal next Wednesday, I believe it is. Might be Tuesday. Tuesday, I guess. Because then we're going to be looking at setting up our February journal. And someone, I believe it was Kat, asked me about how do I put together my kits. So I will walk you through how I have put together my February kit once I have done that. Now see, I took that off of that ribbon, and I can just take my fabric scissors and go right up through the middle. And then I have a thin white lace. So yeah, I guess I'm not buying lace tomorrow. I have plenty. But I had this piece from something that I had bought from Maddie, and I like the sparkle in it. But it was part of this heart lace trim that I will be using in my February journal. Just always have to try and figure out where that little seamy thing is to get into here. And some days it's just not, there it is. I was going to say some days it's just not worth the effort, right? But I'll be using this in the February journal. And because this was all the white lace I could find at the time, I just trimmed out across the bottom of the heart and used this bottom part And then I've got the rest of this that I can use in the February journal. So that's what I did for this one. Went through my ribbon and fiber stash, and I pulled out all kinds of fibers, yarn fibers that I had in my drawer. And then I also had this blue sari silk that I have not pressed out. I left it white, or left it all bunched up and on the spool, and I put it in there. Now, some of these fibers, there is going to be a fiber collection envelope, fiber collection, going into the Etsy shop when I put this album in the Etsy shop. So if you want to start adding some things to your stash in preparation for another blues journal or a snow journal or whatever, there will be a ribbon and fiber pack going into the Etsy shop. Okay, so that's my tassel. Now, as I said, this is our last Wednesday, I do believe, and Bob is so disappointed because his time home is running out. So, let's do this. And I'm going to be doing something different with these next month, and it's going to require your participation. So, pay attention. But for today, let's pull this one. So for this week, you're going to make a pair of pockets. Now, you can do these in whichever shape, form you want, as long as you do 2 of them. Do they have to be identical? No. Just make a pair of pockets. Now, I would make something with mine, except I'm in the process of emptying out this filming corner so that Bob can help me do some rearranging before he goes back to work, and that is where all of my I've already moved all of my collection cases out to the living room. But you can make your pockets out of anything. This was from that notepad. We could trim it off smooth. We could give it a decorative edge. We could ink it up. And these wouldn't even, I mean, it's pretty much a thing all by itself. But, you know, you want to do something to it, right? So let's come in here with this piece, because I've been using these in my journal. So I want to get a wide band of the blue there, and I'll show you why in just a minute. But let's do up our edge here. I love finger daubers. They are my favorite tool to use for distressing. But you see how I took this, and as Julie always reminds us, you're going to get your darkest ink when you first start. So start off your page, and then I'm just going to brush this across the top so I have a blue border at the top. And then let's come in with that lace we just had and run. Can't use the glue that I normally use because it's not on my desk. So let's use my Stampin' Seal from Stampin' Up. And I'm not going to go up here on the edge. I'm coming down here below that. Not real straight. Doesn't have to be, because what I want to do is I want that blue top to show. Get my strings out of there. And then I can come back with this. And I will show you the finished pockets next week, but what I'm thinking I may do is come back with those punched snowflakes and put a collection of those punched snowflakes back up here in this corner like we did. I've moved my punch. I think I threw it in the box. And put a collection of those snowflakes up here in the corner with the dots like we did on the tags from last week. So, that is us. Pair of pockets. If you've not worked on your tassel, that might be one of the things you want to work on this week. And as I said, you don't have to do a journal. If you just want to play with some of these elements to start having a stash of things to work with for future journals, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to link a couple of videos down below. One is to do, a couple of them both have examples of several different types of pockets that you can do. But knowing that your pockets can be that simple or as complicated as you want to make them, I think I'm going to go ahead while I have this, because I can always add this later. But this paper is a little thin for a pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. And I'm going to hang their feet off the end, like that. And come back with my scraper here, and that helps spread the glue out flat so you don't get bumpies in your glue. You can use a bone folder or whatever you want to use. And then I'm going to come back. Now I could have done just the sides and left the top open so I had a double pocket, but I was just after to strengthen this up because, you know, those notepads from Dollar Tree, they're relatively thin. So now I have a pocket that has a little bit more stability to it. And then I will glue it on two sides, or three rather, on the page, and I'll have a pocket. So that's it for this week. Tomorrow we are featuring Gail Agostinelli again. Haven't decided quite yet what I'm doing. I'm recording all of my videos on Sunday, so I have a couple of days to figure that out. So, or at least a couple hours. I haven't figured out what you're getting for Gail tomorrow, but remember, tomorrow is our last week to feature Gail Agostinelli, and she will be a guest on my blog where I've done an interview with Gail, and you'll see some pictures of her studio. Plus, if you've not seen it yet, I'll be linking you to the full studio tour video that she did a week or so ago. So that's it for me in the studio today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, click the notifications bell so you don't miss anything when I upload. And remember to keep an eye on that community tab that should go up today, telling you what you're going to need for Friday's video if you want to craft along with Lindy's Magicals. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. Creative blessings.